Hello. Welcome in to the PHNX Rising podcast. It's a nice Thursday. We got a match.
It is Thursday.
We got a match this weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a game.
It's pod time.
Yeah, it's 6 o'clock. So
you know it. What is this Vikings chat? What are we doing here? Okay, all right. Well, it's happy Thursday, everyone. Appreciate y'all joining us. I'm Max. This guy's name is Owain. Owain, what's your middle name? How do I not know this?
You can just skip it.
No.
My last name is Evans, so that's good.
All right. Well, I'm Max. That's Owain Evans. How we doing, buddy?
Yeah.
That's how we're doing.
Yeah.
Oh boy! All right, so it's Thursday.
It's Thursday.
Woo! Yes,
That's more energy than any of us.
Mikey, I love you guys enough to tune in while the Vikings are playing. Thank you.
I think
Albert, K in the chat. Let's get ready for big time dub. I love it.
Yeah.
And Thomas is the energy we need.
Clown Cup
FG. No, oh boy. Here we go.
I hear, Max. I hear that you're next week, though. I mean, so you've got the Clown Club coming to Phoenix this weekend. I hear you're going to San Diego next weekend to check that San Diego Loyal are actually dead.
I am doing some investigative journalism to make sure they're okay.
He wants to make sure that they're actually going away.
Oh man. Yeah, that's a few. Yeah, that's for next week. But hey, yeah, we got a fun show for you guys.
The Nisa All Stars coming in.
Oh dear gosh. Oh my gosh, it's already off the rails. Fantastic. We have a good show for you guys. Appreciate everyone joining us. And let's just dive into it. Right. Rising.
Phoenix Rising. Yes.
They play Detroit City FC.
Yes.
On Saturday.
Yes.
Some might say that Detroit aren't as good as Rising.
That's because they're not. Right, no, I'll break this down, right?
Yeah,
okay?
Please do.
I'll break this down. Detroit City are a pretty decent team defensively. There's a problem with that, though.
Huh? What's the problem?
The problem with that is that they don't have a lot going forward at all.
Okay.
Their top goal scorer has 5 goals. In fact, if we really want to go down that route,
let's do it.
Danny Trejo and Manuel Arteaga have scored more goals between the two of them this season than Detroit City have scored all year. So there's the context. There's the context here, right? They are a very good defensive side, though. I will not argue that. And Pat, in some ways, is correct, right? In terms of their style travels well. Yes, okay? If you're Detroit City, you kind of want a point out of this game, don't you? That's what you really would look at. Well, their style of play can be the kind of style of play that gives you a point in a game like this, okay? They're tough to beat, but they're also not very good typically in front of goal, which means if you can find the net yourselves, they're not likely to beat you, although in recent form, they've been better.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're gonna have the conversation that people don't want to hear. Rising has lost.
Wait, you're gonna engage with the chat?
Well, yeah, that's another uncomfortable conversation. This is, you know what? This is, by the way, I don't know. I'm trying to remember how this was during the post game, like a couple weeks back.
It was a post game a couple of weeks back.
I'm trying to remember what kicked it off, pun intended.
It was Edward Cunningham.
Yes, but there was a reason. Like I feel there was a reason or something. But anyway,
because you were showing your armpit on air.
I was showing. You know what? That's exactly
why.
That's exactly. No, well, because someone accused me of sweat. I was not sweating. I was not perspiring. And by the way, if you want me to show feet, Papa need cash. You got to pay the man. You got to pay the man for that extra to even not get a chance. So until some super chats come in, we're not going to even do that. Shutting it down right there and there.
That's implying that if the super chats come in,
I'm not saying you will. I'm not saying. Do not type in the chat. PHNX Sports, aka Emma. Do not do that. No. Yeah, we know we will never see feet. Yeah, there we go. Fantastic. Yeah, but send in the super chat. Maybe we'll keep the hope alive. But that's the official statement from the brand. No, I'm gonna have the important conversation that people don't necessarily want to hear. This is a different time. We're Rising, right? They've conceded a couple stinkers early on the season. You have the home loss at Lights. You have the away loss in Miami, even somewhat recently, right? Which seems like ages ago, but it was a few weeks back, that away loss to RGV. This is a better Rising team than then, but the fact still remains, we've said it, you've especially said it, if you let a bad team hang around, more often,
they'll punish you.
They will punish you.
Yeah, they will.
And especially a team like this, where they don't have an attacking threat. All it takes is a mistake in the box, or you're not able to get clinical in front of goal. This is what can happen, man. I'm not saying it will, but like we can't just write these things off. Rising typically seems to do better in a lot of these free-flowing attacks. They've had issues breaking down a block. I'm not saying that Rising won't win this match. I'm not saying these things, but like we can't just write this off like, oh, it's Detroit, they suck, and nothing to fear about.
But that's a different.
They do.
Yeah.
But it's like, right, like it's not just something where, right, we've been down this road before. You can't just look at the record and write it off, and that's that.
No, you can't. You can't, because again, the way that they play is exactly how Rising typically struggle, right? Mm-hmm. It's what they do when they struggle. If Rising can find a way, okay, to get on the board early, to prevent Detroit City from being a team that are able to sit back and absorb and not do a great deal of anything and generally stick to the TMFJ, Trevor Mediocre Football James game plan, then Phoenix Rising, I think, will get the result this weekend. The problem is, of course, if you don't get that goal early, you're going to be up against it, knowing as well that you're going to have to make subs earlier probably than you would normally like. Because of the nature of game on Wednesday, game on the following Saturday, a lot of minutes coming and not many opportunities to rest in between.
Yeah,
and I do worry. I worry that if Rising can't find the net early, they're going to struggle. They're not going to ultimately find it later in the game, and they're going to be stuck with the dreaded 0-0 draw that, in many ways, is exactly what you almost expect, perhaps, going into a game against Detroit City, but that you really don't want to see at this particular moment in the season.
100%. Seeing Goal Man Pat's chat, a goal in the first 20 minutes is more important than most matches. I'm actually, shout out to Statlacky Reese. He actually pulled some really good stuff for us. We keep talking about how, right, Detroit is the bad team, and record-wise, on the whole this season, they are. But here's the thing. We can't apply double standards where we keep on saying that Rising, they had some clunkers earlier, but they're getting hot at the right time, right? We keep on saying that. They're getting hot at the right time. They're riding their 4-match unbeaten streak, all that stuff. Detroit's riding their own 4-match unbeaten streak. And here's the other thing.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. In their last 8 matches, 5 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss, they have scored half of their total goals for the season in those last 8 matches. That can speak to either this team has been horrible offensively throughout the season, which fact, but it also can be a fact that this team is catching fire, their own relative version of fire, at the right time. And all it takes is a team coming in hot, a team running a bit high, maybe either, not saying they're not going to be up for it, but these things play out, and you have 2 teams that are on the right foot. As of recently, not to mention Detroit, they're fighting. They have the ace seed right now. Like, they are fighting for playoff position.
They are. Look, again, I've said this, right? The thing about these teams that Rising have coming up in the fixture list, right? You look at them, you don't fear any of these teams.
No, certainly not.
But at the same time, so many of them right now are fighting for their playoff lives. They're all on the cusp. They are teams that can't afford to drop points in the exact same way that Rising, hoping for a home playoff game, can't afford to drop points. And so that's when you come against teams like Detroit, you're not going to have an easy game. It's going to probably be quite an intense game. I'd look to guys on their side like Devon Amu-Mensah, who is very good at winning the ball, good defensive player, good in the tackle, good in the duels, okay? Someone that I think is a really, really solid player at this level. Again, a guy they picked up from Nisa, of course, because Detroit City FC. But he's definitely proven himself at this level, right? I think that if they can find the net Rising early, though, again, you are going then to have to defend against a team that is not great at creating a whole lot. Again, they're good, very good defensively. They have very few goals allowed, especially relative even to the XG conceded. It looks good. But yeah, at the same time, not only do they have the lowest goals scored in this league, they have the lowest XG in the league.
Yeah.
It's bad. They don't create a lot.
Yeah, and yet it's an interesting point. Going on, Pat, Rising only has 2 more wins than Detroit City.
That's true. But again, Detroit City, team that are hard to beat. And again, maybe they get the win and they scrape it 1-0, or they lose 1-0. Their games are ugly in that kind of sense.
Oh, yeah.
That's how a lot of them end. Get used to that 1-0 scoreline with Detroit City. That's how it is. Of course, it could also be the classic as you look at this and say, well, it took Rising 28 games to record a 0-0 draw this season. Could we be about to see 2 in a row?
It would be kind of
I
crazy.
mean, you could. It's a classic, isn't it? You know, you wait around for ages and two of them come like buses. Yeah. That is a thing.
I've actually never heard that like that.
You've never heard that one?
No.
You've never heard that?
No.
You wait for ages and then two come?
No. Chat, please, like.
No, this is
genuine.
Is
this like a common expression? Like, producer Emma, am I crazy?
It's America. You guys don't use public transport, so it's no shock that you don't.
We have the light rail. We have the Valley Metro. How dare you?
What was the question?
About like the expression that you'd wait for ages and then two come at the same time. It's like buses.
Never heard of that.
That's because you're American again.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
See, Reese is baffled by this.
Reese,
Reese is looking at us right now
no.
like you know, no idea. Chat, back us up here. We got no idea. We got no idea.
We do have an idea. You don't have any idea.
I speak for the podcast. No, it's I don't know. It's one of those where this team defensively, Phoenix Rising, has cleaned up their stuff. And I think for all of their attacking prowess, which if you look at the course of the entire season, a big arc, it's progressively gotten better from game over game. I think the defense, there are times where, listen, the Sacramento away, outside of that one, and I guess if you really want to count the San Diego away early in the season, this team hasn't had a real horrible sinker disaster performance defensively all season, but really they have been times, I don't want to say liability, but they've been prone to some easy mistakes. We have seen that cleaned up really over the past month for the most part. And so now you kind of look at which one is going to kind of win. Like, what kind of game is this going to be? Is this going to be Rising continue just absolutely dominate possession and they're going to be peppering them with shots? Or is this going to be just an ugly kind of muck it up type of match?
It's going to be ugly.
You think it's going to be the latter?
Yeah. I think it's going to be a team that's willing to sit back, absorb pressure. Again, Trevor James's teams, he's good at building teams that are good defense first. Oh, yeah. Okay? And again, when you are a small budget team in this league, that makes sense. They're not a big budget club, Detroit City. Okay? They do not have a lot of money. We all joke about the NISA All-Stars, right? We all make that joke we did last year. I'm sure it, to a degree, continues now, right? Why do you think they sign people from those leagues? Because they don't have a huge budget, right? Yeah. But they're good with their budget. They do well with their budget. They construct a team that, in terms of the way they play, it's negative on times, yes. But again, when you're a low-budget team, that's what you do. That is the smart thing to do in those moments. It's easier to build a team that's solid defensively than it is to sign guys like Danny Trejo and Manuel Arteaga, okay?
You ain't wrong.
That they come typically at a premium. Oh, yeah. Attacking players always do. So I'm not shocked that they play the way they do. I just think it could well be an ugly, ugly game. And again, you've just got to hope that at the end of the day, Rising come out on top.
Well, you know, that's and I know I do like Goldman's Pat comment, and we're probably going to get into that a little bit into the next segment, but brings up a good point. Can I get a score prediction?
Score prediction.
Chat, please chime in as well. Phoenix Rising
1, Detroit City 0.
Who's your goal scorer?
I'm going to go with Danny Trejo.
Okay. So I also have Phoenix Rising scoring 1 goal. I also have Detroit City scoring 1 goal. And I don't really know how that's going to happen, but it's just, listen, purely going off vibes, and I don't even know, it just feels like a weird match. Feels like one Rising can let draw.
Didn't you say Manu earlier?
I did say Manu. Manu's going to score. So I like the drama of that Golden Boot-esque narrative, just them chasing each other. But no, it feels like a 1-1 draw. I really hope I'm wrong. They win, and I don't know, but I am seeing 4 in a row. 1-0. Thomas 1-0. Ben Diaz Bluebird 1-0. Gallardo scoring. Mikey 1-0. Goalieman Pat 1-0. Whichever team scores first. Dude, he don't care.
That ain't happening. That ain't happening.
Oh my word! I say that I don't care the score. I don't know the score line. I think we win. That's like 5. That's like 5.
Everyone agrees it's gonna be a dull game.
Exactly. Okay. Albert 2-0, but Rising will really have to grit through it.
At the end of the day, if you walk out with a 1-0 win, why not? Who cares? Win's a win. This time of the season, you come out with 3 points. Doesn't matter how you do it. Doesn't matter how ugly it is. Doesn't matter how gritty it is. Doesn't matter whether you're losing for a lot of the game and end up coming back late in the game.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you are massively outplayed on the pitch and somehow just scrape it. You need 3 points. That's where we are at the moment in the season. There's no real consideration has to be given at all to how they look while they're doing it. Just walk away with 3 points.
Clip that. Sound like Reese. Clip that. Yeah, I completely agree. But, right, it could be free-flowing game, which probably not. It could be one where Rising is absolutely peppering them with offensive shot. It could be one of those games, like really just scratch your head, kind of muck it up. It's like a real OGs game. And our friends at OGs, right, they can make games like that just a little bit more enjoyable, right? You got the OG shirt that I'm wearing, from Buds of Palooza, right? The little patch there, boom, boom. The vibes are immaculate. Look at this tie-dye. I'm looking fresh. Shout out OGs brands. Their minis are back on the shelves. If you haven't tried it, if you're a little kind of curious, if you guys like, check it out at ogsbrands.com to find them at a dispensary near you. You can check them out on all socials at OGs Brands. Absolutely phenomenal. Got the fruits, the creams in indica and sativa. You are not typing in the chat. Do not add to this chaos. I see you over there. Even OG's brands can help me mellow out from this guy right here.
What is he doing?
What am I doing? I'm flicking you.
Yeah, why?
The audio listeners can't see this, but I'm audibly flicking you.
Why?
Because I don't know, man. I'm sorry, you're just throwing a lot of shade at me. And shout out to our friends at Shady Rays. Shady Rays, man. When this guy's throwing shade at you, you can use promo code PHNX. And it's just a little bit, not as bright. Not as bright for when this guy's throwing shade at you. Exclusively for our listeners, use promo code PHNX. Get their best deal this season. You're going to get 50% off 2 pairs of their polarized shades. Try one for yourself. Today, they may not always be one Guerra resistant, but, they hold up to a lot of things within life. Mm-hmm. Those who watched the post-game in Vegas a couple weeks ago, they get that. They get that. Okay, Owen, get out of here. Yeah, kind of talking a bit about, is Max on OGs right now? No, certainly not. Never. Yeah, don't accuse me, Albert. No, but, right, kind of talking a bit about this week coming up. First off, there's going to be a lot of shows next week on our behalf, a lot of pods. But how do you, if you're Rising, how do you kind of factor into this kind of rotation? How do you approach this week?
Yeah, it's gonna be a challenge, isn't it? Of course, because there's a lot to kind of deal with, right? You've still got some injuries, you've still got some issues on that front. Actually, let's kick off with that. Actually, let's talk a little bit about Darnell King, the fact that he's still injured at the moment. We did get an update from Juan on that today. Let's have a quick listen.
Darnell's doing great. Honestly, I have never seen someone recovered this quickly, not just from the physical aspect, but also on the mental aspect, because when you're someone that you're getting consistently in the starting lineup again and you're doing a good job and you're performing well and we're getting results, mentally you can see how those guys put their head down if they get an injury. Darnell was different. He's been the same voice in that locker room, the same voice in training. He flew to Tulsa last week. It was important for us to have him on the road, and he's getting very, very quickly to returning. So we're very happy for that as well.
Okay, so quick recovery by the looks. Not really sure of the timeline specifically on that one, but again, that's one thing to factor in here. Look, I'm expecting a good amount of rotation. It's tough. This league is tough, especially when you get to the final game of that 8-day stretch. Oof. And you got El Paso, who have not played in midweek. So they will not be as tired going into that game as Rising are going to be. It's tough. Okay? There's no easy way to balance all of those players. We saw it happen a couple of weeks ago in terms of Rising getting the 9 points over that 8-day stretch, but I don't know. I'm intrigued how you see that balance out now, right? Because you'd presume the option is there that you can use José Andres Hernandez with either Carlos Harvey or Renzo Zambrano. You have 3 of them. You can play around with that trio as you wish, although you have to bear in mind, of course, that Renzo Zambrano is on the brink of a 2-game yellow card accumulation suspension.
He picks up yellow cards?
Yeah, Renzo gets booked a lot, really.
You don't say.
So obviously that can throw a big spanner in the works. If you play him in this first game, he picks up a yellow card, he's out for the next 2. Okay? You've just got to be careful around that one. Not easy to deal with. And of course, José Andres Hernandez himself, 43 minutes shy of 10,000 USL minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Very good.
So you're telling me that, let's say, Renzo gets that yellow card. José Andres Hernandez keeps boss in the midfield. Could be quite a different looking midfield possibly in future matches. We're not trying to get ahead of things.
Harvey, probably.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, man. It's one of those things where you're going to get at the point of the season where not only are you having to rotate into these 3 matches in eight days, but also you're now kind of probably starting to feel a bit of the effects of just like the entire season. And now it's like kind of the whole thing of like, now you're just looking at, right, how you balance within this week. You want to get all the points that you can, especially knowing that you want to host this home playoff match. But now you're also trying to think like, okay, the big picture span of things, you're going for every match. You want to put your best 11 and your best squad out there. But like, it's not just about winning the next game. While it is in the short term, you also have to think about the bigger picture.
The way I'd look at it is just, especially, and this again goes back to the point that I made earlier about getting a goal early in this game.
That's what I hear.
Start your best 11, make subs.
Of course.
And then reevaluate ahead of Wednesday where people are fitness-wise.
I mean, I don't disagree.
I think that's the easiest way of doing it. Treat this game as a big one to get you rolling. Put out what you'd say is your best 11 on Saturday. Then on Wednesday, where needed, make changes. And sometimes if you need to make subs at halftime to make sure that it works, make subs at halftime. Okay? Yeah. We've seen Juan make subs late in games. It's definitely been something that gets raised quite a bit, that gets spoken about. Is it right? Especially you look at Tulsa. Look at that last game. He left it quite late to make a change in that match. I think a lot of people, ourselves included at times, look at it and say, well, maybe you make a change earlier in there. But if he needs to get more willing to make those changes early, to do so in a way that's going to allow you to maybe rotate players in terms of a starting 11 less, have a little bit more consistency in there. But again, I'll say this, you look at the last time that Rising had the 3 and 8, there were a few changes, but they weren't, I wouldn't say, yes, the team that plays Sacramento was a lesser team, but I wouldn't say it was a true B team.
No, that's some spots, but that's fair. I mean, but I do see, right, actually in 3 comments in a row, Goldman, Pat, Mikey, and Thomas, everyone is essentially saying, right, you want to win every match that you can, but I think people are really prioritizing that match away to El Paso.
Right, so, but here's the thing then. That means you're going to cut back a little bit on Wednesday. Now, I think Wednesday's going to be an interesting one. Of course, we will get into that next week, mostly on Monday. Wednesday's going to be an interesting one. You got Solomon Asante coming back. You got Aidan Quinn coming back. By the way, speaking of Solo Asante, make sure to tune in to our Monday podcast and to the AC Family pre-game show before that one. I have had the chance to catch up with Solo, and we'll be airing bits of that ahead of that game.
Breaking news.
Yeah, indeed. But that's going to be a tough one, right? Because look, I think Solo deserves his moment in front of the fans. I agree with Goalie Pat here. He deserves a chance to see some of these guys back here. I know he misses it. He misses this place. Certainly. He misses you guys. He misses the fans. But Aiden, I think, is on good form and is going to be fired up for that game. So certainly. Let's see. You've got to be smart about that one, which is potential dropped points. You've got to be smart going into this game against Detroit, whereby, again, I know people are saying the most important game is the game coming up next Saturday, following Saturday against El Paso. But at the same time, you got to take the 3 points that are sitting there waiting for you to claim them.
You do.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't just go on. I think right it comes down to, you kind of hit on, is you put, for all these matches.
Look, for all the comments here about must win in El Paso, I'll be honest. If you win the other 2 games and draw in El Paso, that's not a bad outcome. You're not chasing El Paso. You're not trying to catch them up with them. True. You're just trying to make sure they don't catch up with you. If you draw against El Paso but win the other games, I don't think that's a bad outcome.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. By the way, everyone in the chat, there's many of you. Please like this video. Help us out. No, I think the interesting thing... Please like it. No, I think the interesting thing, right, and it keeps on coming down to what I think we're both saying, is you start your best 11 for these matches, but I think it is, we have seen, right to your point, Wangara maybe give a bit longer of a leash, or just he wants his guys to build momentum and matches, whatever it is. The subs have typically been late in a lot of different situations, whether they're trailing, whether they're leading, whether they have multiple matches in a week. I think this is where I kind of branch out big picture in the larger scope of the season. Make the subs a little bit earlier, right? Get some rotation in. You have a lot of guys who, especially if you're able to get to an early goal or an early lead, like you mentioned, ride the momentum, bring in some guys who you might need down the stretch, and get her done. Get her done. You can actually put some different beers in your rotation, as long as they're Four Peaks. Four Peaks has all.
We'll stick with the WoW, Max. Make sure that there's enough WoWs in the fridge as always. I'm glad he has been stocking up. Good job, Max. Well done.
I'm sorry.
Well done.
Don't
give him a little pat there.
Don't you do
well
that.
done. He has been getting the WoWs in there, right?
That is not my job.
Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed some of the others there.
There's
Hazy,
multiple on the screen.
Good time. Yeah. Hazy, good time. Had a few of them in the fridge back home, sitting there. Hop Knot in there as well. Good stuff. But they don't match. Well, depends on how you're feeling, but the WoW for me is the classic go-to.
It is your favorite time of the year because you like pumpkin spice everything. That's what I hear.
I wouldn't go that far, but I do enjoy the pumpkin porter.
I mean, your basic pumpkin? No. You basic. Pumpkin porter ain't basic. Whether you are basic or not, pumpkin porter, it is the season. Getting the fall state of mind. They got nutmeg.
Yeah, I've never actually had, I don't think, a pumpkin spice latte, but I have had the pumpkin porter on many, many occasions.
It's like the pumpkin spice latte, but with alcohol.
But good.
You must be 21 plus or to enjoy responsibly. Again, check out Four Peaks Brew and Four Peaks Pub on Instagram. Keep up with the latest and greatest. For Arizona's hometown brewery, of course, check them out at their 8th Street Pub. It's delicious. Shout out Four Peaks. We love beer. And, you can get some Four Peaks at Valley Tap Room.
Can you?
Yeah, that's what I hear.
That's what the people are saying.
That is what people are saying,
and
right?
The people in this case are Max Simpson.
I'm more than one person? Well, that'd be a lot. I don't think you can handle two me's.
I don't think I could.
No, I don't think.
One of you is enough, Max. But yeah, Valley Tap Room. Good time. Good time.
That's 4 feet.
I've been there for a little while. Oh, I gotta make my way back there.
Yeah, we do. Hey, maybe next week a little Tuesday, a little trivia Tuesday, perhaps. Maybe we'll talk. Maybe a little wrestle. Get some people there.
Maybe we'll see.
Be a shame if someone went there and bought beers for people. Oh,
Max Simpson buying beers.
No, okay, all right. That is what it is. Here people can buy beer too.
Specifically, Max is buying beers.
I have bought beers multiple times at Valley Tap Room. You can go to Valley Tap Room and buy beers as well.
Alex, you buy margaritas.
Okay, they actually do. Yeah, they do have good margs. They have good wine slushies. They got everything at Valley Tap Room. Check them out on Instagram at Valley Tap Room. Shout out my man Donald. More information coming. Stop talking football here. This is the football. We're not talking about freaking touchbacks and stuff here. Goalie man Pat.
Yeah,
Mikey,
real football.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
No.
Yeah, shout out Valley Tap Room. They got all the sports, and you can watch them there, buddy. I'm gonna say I think you should PHNX Sports. I think if you show up in any PHNX merch, any of us will buy a beer. Define any of us,
Max.
Producer Emma. Define any of us, please.
Any of us, leave Max alone. Jesus Christ.
No, it's Max is buying beers.
I'm so sick of it. I'm putting an end to it because I am sick of it.
Just mute his mic.
Done.
Just mute his mic. It'll just be me the entire show.
That would arguably be even worse.
That's understandable. That's fair. Would you like to go around the USL?
Yeah, but let's start actually with, it's kind of around the USL, but it's also quite specific to here. Let's talk about USL Player of the Month.
That was the lead in that I was trying to give you.
Danny Trejo.
I hear that guy's good.
We did actually hear from Juan about Danny getting named Player of the Month today.
Oh, it's great. It's very important for Danny individually. It's very important for Danny collectively as well. He understands that in order for him to be able to achieve these objectives, the collective is important, and I'm very happy for him. This is one that you see how early he is in training and how he's one of the last ones to leave every single day. So he puts a lot of work into this, and it is great when you see that players can achieve these things. It's great for Danny. It's great for us as a team and as an organization as well.
Yeah, man. Sources can confirm. Danny Trejo, good.
There we go. Analysis.
It's good.
Analysis.
I do it all, folks.
He does everything.
I do it all.
He does ads. He does such insightful comments like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Danny, good.
Danny Eagle, good. Yeah, no, yeah,
Good.
Jimmy, no. There's a lot of good players in this league. I see this comment being robbed long enough, and I know, right? Like even in the last month, him and Manuel Arteaga going tit for
Different
tat,
level.
tit for tat, different level. Manuel Arteaga winning the prior month. I think it's something where it's just an interesting thing because when either of these two are in a lineup, they don't miss a beat. When one of them has gone missing, they're really able to make it work, but I have noticed that, right, it's a small sample size for both of them, but in a match where Danny Trejo either isn't in or hasn't played as prominently for whatever reason, this team does have a different gear. And when he's in there, it's a different gear in a more positive way. I think Danny Trejo, he is such a threat for this team, the way he's able to stretch you vertically, the way he's so smart in his movement. And I think the difference that he makes on a club is even when he doesn't have the ball, very dangerous player.
Yeah, he is. Look, he is someone who will
different
get you
gravy.
assists.
Different gravy.
He will get you assists, he will get you goals, and he will get you goals by the bagful. Again, look, I know we mentioned it earlier, but just again as the reminder, Danny Trejo and Manuel Arteaga between the two have scored more goals than Detroit City FC.
I mean, that speaks to the futility of Detroit City and also just the awesomeness of that combo, especially
Indeed,
Dan Trejo.
Indeed.
Oh, man.
Should we have a look as well,
Let's do
though,
it.
at scores? It was a
Scores.
game yesterday. A game. It was a real thriller there as Miles Lyons on an assist from Eric McHugh gives El Paso Locomotive the win 1-0 away at Cashman Field. Now, what a thrilling 1-0 victory it was there. We did see, of course, I know there was a halftime sub there. Andrew Carlton came on better late than never, as they say. But at the end of the day, Las Vegas Lights, 66 final third entries. How many shots on target, Max? Don't look at the screen.
Can you move your
How many
hand so I can
shots on target did they get from those 66 final third entries, Las Vegas Lights, at home?
I'm trying to read, but your hand's in the way.
Well,
not many.
El Paso had 4 shots
I'm
on
going to
target.
say not many.
Well, that's kind of correct, but also, to be more specific, 0.
That's not
So,
many.
Las Vegas
Hey.
Lights, 66 final third entries. How many shots on target? None.
There you go.
Okay, so there you go. We can confirm Las Vegas Lights, not good. Not good.
Not good.
There's a reason they are sitting at the very bottom of this league and looking up at absolutely everybody.
They're looking at the absolute everybody.
Are they eliminated yet? They got to be close.
Can we mathematically eliminate them? Are you doing that? You crunching the numbers right
I'm
now?
crunching the numbers a minute. Go on, you talk about Las Vegas and your thoughts.
Beep.
Oh yeah, they got an E next to them. They're done.
They done!
They're done.
Yes!
Congratulations to Las Vegas Lights. They have once again done what they always do. They have never, ever made the playoffs.
Hurry,
in
someone hit the
their
light switch in the room.
entire history.
Oh no! Oh, that was supposed to happen instantaneously.
What was supposed to happen?
I said someone hit the light switch in the room, but then producer Emma's glaring at me.
Yeah, but
'cause
that's
she's
not
like,
going to turn the lights in here off.
but just like in general
That
out
would
there, metaphorically, spiritually, symbolically, turn the
Max,
lights
what
off.
are you on about?
What?
They're out. They're done. Okay? Team is
Fine.
cooked. They
Fine.
were awful. Funnily enough, actually, Hartford have less points than them. Which
God.
is... Now, they are 2 games in hand, Hartford over Vegas. But who's going to get the wooden spoon? Let's come on. Hartford Athletic, Las Vegas Lights. Technically, Loudon, there's 6 points clear of Vegas. That's not happening. Hartford or Vegas? Who is getting the wooden spoon this year?
What's Hartford at right now?
Hartford is 16 points, but they have 2 more games to play than Vegas. Vegas are on 18 points.
I'm gonna go with Hartford.
You think Hartford get
I
the
think
wooden spoon?
I think Hartford get the spoon.
Hartford have
I know
not-
Vegas is the popular
Hartford
choice. I think Hartford is just incredibly irrelevant. Vegas also irrelevant, but like you can hate them. Like Hartford, I have zero opinion about. Like they're just
I mean, they
Yeah.
fired Tab Ramos earlier in the season.
Not good.
They are losing like there is no tomorrow. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses in a row.
Vegas
for
is at
Hartford
least
Athletic.
Vegas
Well,
is
shout out to them. They at least managed to beat New Mexico United back in the start of August.
yeah. Max, you can turn the lights off when they. Full.
Yeah, I mean, all I know is
yeah.
that Andrew Carlton is on his way to Tampa right now, asking for a recount. Probably.
I'm sure he is. Yeah. No, I think it's just right between those two. Hartford they just suck. And Vegas isn't good either, but they can at least like muck it up. You play at Cashman Field. There's a good chance no one scores a goal just based on the pitch conditions. Like you can get a draw purely just by the futility of that grass.
Can we just shout out Brett Lashbrook though for the fact that he's probably the least successful owner in this league? That team is just bad.
Not good.
Like, seriously, for a club to have been in the league as long as they have and never make the playoffs, 2/3 of the teams in this league make the playoffs. How do you never make the playoffs? How little do you care, okay, that you are just this bad?
Edward in the chat, Fartford, Wackletic. Oh my gosh. We're, as Haley would say, this is a professional podcast.
It's a professional podcast.
I did not say that, though. I'm just reading, let us go. Oh my gosh, Edward, you're speaking my language. You're speaking my language. Brett Lashbrook, not the owner of successful
Shout
teams.
out to Vegas Lights. They are so bad.
Yes, but
so bad.
Yes.
And yet they somehow beat Rising.
Yeah, that's honestly the thing that kind of pisses me off. It's like they're so bad, and yet there's that. Like that almost makes me feel. I'm not gonna say worse, but it doesn't make me feel good.
It does make you feel worse. Don't pay any attention to the chat, Max.
I'm not gonna read that comment. But if we're talking about llamas, and if they're gonna go to a convenience store, I hear they're going to Circle K. Here they're going to Circle K. Fill up on some Polar Pops. I'd imagine a llama probably sounds something like this. If they're drinking a Polar Pop, it's going to be a good time, right?
What was that noise?
What? It's a Polar Pop. It's a llama probably drinking a Polar Pop. If I had to guess, it's yeah, you can fill up on a Polar Pop when you're at Circle K, even if you're a llama. So whether you're filling through the mouth or through your car's side or back, wherever the hole in your car is, you can fill up at Circle K in both ends, right? It's a good time. Circle K, shout out Polar Pops. Shout out the Inner Circle program where you can fill up and get your first 5 fill-ups, 25 cents off a gallon. You get your first 5 Polar Pops for free through the Inner Circle app, and every 6 like hot menu items, snack, whatever, free through Inner Circle, and you're always getting free stuff. Just shout out Inner Circle, right? Again, Polar Pops, discounted gas. It's all a good time. Download the Circle K app for free and check out the Inner Circle program in the app. Super easy. All you need is a phone number.
You know what we haven't done? We didn't actually look at the games that are coming up.
Hit it.
Should we do that? No, let's do a quick look at the games that are coming up. 2 games tomorrow. New Mexico United hosting Indy 11. That one, of course, important. Remember, keep an eye on that one. Indy 11 will be coming here to Phoenix next week on Wednesday. Then you got Orange County against Colorado Springs Switchbacks. That is a big one. Playoff seeding if you're looking above and below Rising in the table.
Oh, yeah.
How's that going to end up? We'll have to see. That game kicks at 7 p.m. tomorrow. Meanwhile, on Saturday, the early games, the 4 o'clock kickoffs, you got Loudoun against Charleston, Miami against Pittsburgh. A lot of East Coast action, as you'd expect earlier in the day. San Diego Loyal play Lou City at 4:30. Keep an eye on that one. Again, San Diego Loyal, not really that far ahead of Phoenix Rising right now. They can take them, depending on how results go this weekend. You'll have to see what goes on there. Memphis Hartford at 5. San Antonio playing Tampa Bay at 5:30. Yeah. Sacramento El Paso at 7. I mean, again, you're at that point in the year where I think you've got to hope, if you're a Phoenix Rising fan, that teams like Sacramento, San Antonio are going to take those results against potential opposition for Phoenix Rising in the playoffs, in opposition for 4th spot. Monterey Bay will be playing Las Vegas Lights. Shout out to the Lights. They are, of course, dead. Not quite as dead as San Diego, but they are not making it to the playoffs. Oakland Roots will be hosting FC Tulsa. 7 o'clock kickoff, of course, in that game. If Tulsa can get a result, good one for Rising. And then, of course, it leads into the main kickoff of the night, 7:30 p.m. Phoenix Rising facing Detroit. One Sunday game this week, 5 o'clock kickoff. RGV playing Birmingham Legion.
Yeah. Sorry, the chat. You guys are insane. Oh, you guys are insane. Yeah, it's a lot of games going on. Primetime slot for Phoenix Rising, and you'd love to see it. It's, I don't know. I'm hopeful. I hope I'm wrong in my 1-1 prediction, which if I'm a betting man, which I am, and I'm normally wrong in my bets, yeah. It's
you're often wrong in your bets.
Probably going to be a win then for Rising. Anything before we go? I actually do want to shout out diehards in the chat. See a lot of you. See Albert, amongst others. Appreciate you guys. See Saley. Y'all diehards. We appreciate you. If you want to become a diehard yourself.
Michael Lacour's also a diehard.
Yeah, but I don't want to. No, he does. I just don't want to acknowledge him. He's being mean to me. No, but shout out all the diehards in the chat. If you want to become a diehard, check out PHNXlocker.com. Get a free shirt upon signing up. Free shirt every year of your membership. 20% off. I almost said gas. Wow, 20% off events. 20% off merch.
Don't missell these things, Max. All right.
Although we are working with co-partners on some more diehard discounts, so stay tuned and slide into my DMs. But yeah.
Not trying to get people to slide into your DMs.
No.
That's literally what you just
said.
Let
me rephrase.
That's what you just said.
Can I finish? On Discord, through being a diehard, you get access to Discord. Slide in my DMs. We can talk.
Remember, that's the thing about Discord, right? It gives you a whole other platform to cyberbully Max.
Oh, Mike, I'm just kidding. All love. Anything before we go?
No, I think that's about right. I'll let them. The chat is having enough fun themselves. I will let them continue to have fun as the night goes on, just not with us, so that we can get some sleep at some point.
I don't. There's no dogs in this studio, so I don't know. But anyway, I appreciate everyone joining us. This has been the PHNX Rising podcast. You already know where to find us on Twitter at PHNX__, because
double the feet.
Don't see. I literally knew you were going to say that.
You got 2 feet, haven't you, Max?
I do.
There we go.
Put one in front of the other. That's golden boot.
2
foot to you,
sir.
Oh,
it's golden boot again.
Let's go. You can follow me on Twitter at Max David Simpson. You can follow Owen on Twitter at OJEvans18. You can follow Emma on Twitter at Emma Ann Clark. You can follow Statlacky Reese on Twitter at Reese11_. Again, don't use the double underscore. Statlacky mispronounced his.
Didn't know his own.
For the longest time. He's Statlacky. He's a numbers guy. Not really a words. Not good with the words. But doing the best we can. Let's get the hell out of here. It's a beautiful game, but it's way more beautiful when there's not a llama.